All right, first and foremost, you got to do some thinking on your catch here. Like
Select wisely.
I have one
catch of
chosen
the day.
for you, but we'll see if
We'll see if it's the one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, we're talking about some sound.
This could be a really fast Morse code because he wants to get to the donut.
No, go slow so that I can have another one. So take it away.
Well, speaking of fast versus slow, the air temperature can impact the speed that sound travels at, and therefore how well or how far away we can hear sounds under different atmospheric conditions. So sound travels in pressure waves when there's a vibrating object like a speaker sending out these vibrations to the air molecules that surround it. Those pressure waves move through a medium like air by causing those air particles to vibrate back and forth all the way from that source to our ears. So the compressions are areas of high pressure where those air molecules are squeezed close together, and areas of rarefaction where there's areas of low pressure. And those are the sections where the air molecules are spread apart. So again, these sound waves are just the compressions and rarefactions, the high pressure, low pressure zones of the air molecules moving through the air. Those vibrations travel that far distance, sometimes from the source to our ears for us to hear that audio. But high temperatures give air molecules more energy. So even though the molecules in hot air are spread farther apart than they are in cold air is more dense. With hot air, there's more thermal energy with those air molecules, causing them to already vibrate at a higher speed, and this allows the sound to travel faster when it's warmer because the addition of more vibration from the speaker or source just excites those air molecules more, and therefore we get a faster speed of sound with hot air. While in cold air, the reduced molecular motion means that sound waves take longer to be transmitted from one molecule to another. Not only is cold air more dense, but these air molecules are moving slower to begin with, so that results in a slower overall speed of sound in colder air. So we can look at an atmospheric temperature profile during the daytime, and it's usually warmer at the ground, so therefore the sound is traveling faster and cooler with temperatures aloft. But what happens at night a lot of times is that there's an inversion in place. So this temperature inversion is where there's colder air near the ground. On clear, calm nights, that air near the ground rapidly cools, leaving a warmer layer aloft. So air temperature increases with height, and we call that a temperature inversion. Well, in respects to it impacting sounds, the inversion can trap the sound waves because that cooler air allows for the sound waves to travel slower and refract or bend down towards the ground, instead of those sound waves escaping upwards during the day. So it can be easier to hear highway noise or other distant sounds at night, even when you're far away from those sources or if there's a barrier in between, because those sounds are traveling at a farther distance and bending down towards the ground at night with that inversion in place. The inversion can also cause thunder to be louder and last longer. So normally thunder can be heard from about 10 miles away from a lightning strike, but if an inversion is in place, warmer air aloft speeds up the sound and bends it back down towards the earth. That can happen at night or in the cool season if there's thunderstorms, with those thunderstorms aloft where that warmer air is in place. So this can create for an atmospheric shadow zone during the day because, again, those sound waves are bending up where the warmer air near the ground is allowing for the sound to travel faster, cooler air above that allowing it to travel slower, so you get that bending upwards during the day. That allows these sound waves to possibly skip over areas on the ground entirely, and that may have changed the course of some Civil War battles when the generals were waiting to hear the sound of cannon fire to join in the battle, but they never heard anything. For example, in the hilly terrain with the Battle of Gettysburg, some of those sound waves went over the mountains and never came down into the valleys for the generals to hear them. Wind can also carry sound. So if the listener, if you're downwind, the wind is blowing towards you from a sound source, that can bend that sound down towards you and amplify it. Whereas with the wind blowing away from you, that can lead to that upward refraction, the sound waves bending upwards, and that might cause you to not be able to hear distant sounds. Now finally, this might be the most noticeable in the wintertime, atmospheric acoustics with fresh snow. Quiet conditions are often observed after a fresh snowfall because the ice crystals don't fit together perfectly. They stack up on the ground, leaving a lot of small air pockets to absorb the sound. And when those sound waves hit that fluffy layer of snow, instead of just bouncing back, they get absorbed, scattered, and weakened, causing friction and energy loss, actually converting some of that sound wave's energy into a little bit of heat. But the sound doesn't just get quieter, it's also muffled. So high frequency sounds are absorbed more easily than low frequencies. That leads to just lower tones overall, leading to that kind of hushed feeling with the fresh snow on the ground. So fresh snow has about 90% air between all those ice crystals, but as that snow is compressed, it becomes less porous and therefore not as efficient at absorbing those sounds over time after the snowstorm exits. So pretty interesting.
It is.
I know that you mentioned at one point that you could hear the highway from your house at night.
Yes,
and
right.
that is because of that temperature inversion and the sound bending down towards you.
North wind, we have the interstate. South wind, we got the train. And after a snow, it's like you can't hear either one.
Right.
It's all of that acoustics, all the energy going into the sound waves and the snowflakes.
Need you guys to stop talking about snow. It is clearly still fall. This is a fall donut. Jacob, pick your poison.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.